Hello friends, welcome to the Winners Capsule YouTube channel. If this is the first time you are viewing my channel, then here is a short about it. This channel is focusing on making your day-to-day studies easy through simple videos on various topics for all classes under SCERT and CBSE syllabus. And also I used to prepare a lot of videos on various competitive examinations also. Hope this will help you to win all the studies. All the very best. Please do support this channel with the likes and subscription. If you like my channel, please share it with your friends. Welcome to 8th Standard Physics class. In this session, I'll be discussing units and measurement. And this is the first chapter. Okay. Here, I'm mainly focusing on the following topics such as volume, mass, density, numerical example, and a few conceptual based questions, application level questions. These are my plan of action. Students, I promise you, by the end of the session, you will be able to understand volume, mass, density, comparison between volume and density, relationship between volume, mass, and density. And finally, you will be able to understand how to solve the numerical example also. So let us understand the important terminologies which is used in physics. Moving on to the first topic. What do you mean by mass? Have you ever heard about mass? It is very simple. It is a measurement of the amount of matter in an object or substance. So matters have different states such as solid, liquid, gas, etc. The measurement of amount of mass in an object or a substance, that is basically called mass. The mass, this is one of the fundamental quantity. The mass will not be changing with respect to the gravity. There is no relation between mass and gravity. But weight, you know the weight will be depending on gravity. So weight you can able to calculate by using the formula mass into gram, mg, weight. Okay, so here weight and mass will be entirely different, but it is related to each other. Weight will be depending on gravity, acceleration due to gravity, but mass will not be depending on gravity. What is a standard unit of SI unit of mass? The SI unit of mass is kilogram. You can use gram, milligram, etc. That is also possible. So this is the basic information about mass. I think you have understood what is the definition of mass and what is the basic meaning of mass. Next, I would like to discuss what do you mean by volume? Okay, capital letter V, uppercase V. How much space an object or a substance take up? That is the measurement of volume. Measured in cubic meter. Okay, cubic meter, meter cube. Okay, you can call it as meter cube or in terms of liter. And also you can able to measure in terms of milliliter. Especially you can able to calculate. Suppose you have to draw a cube. Consider a cube. Clear? This is a cube. Consider a cube. This will be the length of the cube. Maybe this will be the breadth. Actually, cube means all are having equal, but let me consider a box. I would like to say just like a box. Okay. This will be h, height. So what is the volume? What is the volume of this particular square box? So volume is equal to length into breadth into height. Suppose all the quantities like length, breadth, and height are equal, then suppose I can able to write it. Length is equal to breadth is equal to height is equal to a. Okay, because all quantities are equal. Therefore, I can write for a cube, V is equal to a cube. For a cube, I can write like this. So this is applicable for a matchbox or just like a square box, it's like a soap box. You can how to calculate the volume of a matchbox or a soap box, L into B into H. So this is the formula how to calculate volume. What is the SI unit of volume? It is meter cube. Remember this formula. Okay, this is regarding volume. Okay, so we have understood what do you mean by mass and what is volume and how to calculate the volume also. Okay. Now I would like to discuss one of the very important terminology in physics that is called density. So you can represent density by using the form rho. Someone can represent as rho. Okay. And also somebody will represent D also. What is a density? It is basically a measure of how tightly packed and how heavy the molecules are in an object. Please consider two diagrams, diagram 1 and diagram 2. So what is the difference? Tell me what is the difference. Can you able to identify any difference? Any idea? Okay. Look at this. Here in the first diagram, the molecules are tightly packed, where in the second diagram, molecules are lightly packed. So tell me which is having higher density. Can you able to tell me? Yes. The first diagram shows highly dense the material because molecules are tightly packed. Okay. And also, the population density. Some area people are more, less area, more people. Okay. So you can able to say that population density is very much high in that particular area. So I would like to show you a few more examples. Consider a beaker, test tube. Here we have put oil, water, honey. Tell me which fluid is having high density. So definitely among three, honey shows highest density. Which is having less density? I would like to say that in this context, oil shows less density because that is why it is showing in the upper side. That you have to remember. Here you can able to see vegetable oil shows least dense material, where honey shows highly dense material. So based on the position, you can able to understand. Did you understand this? How to make out? It is very simple. Okay. Depends on the position, you can able to identify. So this is the way how to check which fluid is having higher density and which is having least density. Okay. By checking the position, you can able to identify where it is standing. Okay. Now you can able to see two diagrams here, which is having higher density. Obviously, the first figure shows higher density and here it is having least density. Okay. And here you can able to see a baby just started jumped in a particular bathtub. What happened? The water comes outside because the body is having higher density. So water is having less density. Clear? Here also a duck. Duck is actually swimming over the particular beaker. What does it mean? It is that duck is having least density. That is why it could able to submerge on the water. Okay. So these are the typical diagrams which you can able to understand the concept of density very easy. Okay. Now let me discuss about the definition. We have understood the density, but we have to understand the definition. That is very important. How much space an object or substance takes up in relation to the amount of matter that object or substance. Basically, it is the amount of mass per unit volume. This is a very important definition. Amount of mass per unit volume. That is called density. If an object is heavy and compact, obviously it is having high density, which we already seen. And also, if an object is light and take up a lot of space, it is having low density. We have shown different examples of density, which is having higher density and which is having lower density. Okay. So, however, you have to remember, it is defined as mass per unit volume. You can have a comparison between density and volume. The table represents the relation between density and volume. The first point, it measures amount of matter present in an object, where volume measures the three-dimensional space occupied in an object. We have computed the volume of a cube, you are remembering, right? Measured in kilogram per cubic meter, where volume measures in terms of cubic meters. Normally, we represent density in D or sometimes rho. Okay. Represented as V. Volume will be represented capital letter V or uppercase V. Density of a three-dimensional object is composed of two components such as mass and volume, where the volume of shape is determined by three components such as length, width, and height. You know that density is having intensive nature, where volume is having extensive nature. If I talk about the relationship between temperature and density, both are inversely proportional. Density is inversely proportional to temperature, where volume is directly proportional to temperature. So this point you have to remember. As the temperature increases, volume increases. Both are directly proportional. As the temperature increases, the density comes down. Okay, please remember this relation. Suppose you are asked to compare volume with the density, you have to follow up the important information. Okay, this is very essential. Now you can able to see a triangle which depicts relation between mass, density and volume. So density is equal to mass divided by volume. This is very important. So mass by volume is nothing but density. Okay. Now let us solve a numerical example. If the mass of an object, let me call it as M, mass is equal to 35 grams. Okay, 35 grams. And it takes up 7 centimeter cube space. So V is equal to 7 centimeter cube. Calculate the density. So density is equal to mass by volume. So mass is equal to how much? 35. 35 gram divided by volume is 7 centimeter cube. Mass per volume. So 5. Okay, the answer is 35 by 7 is equal to 5. 5, the unit is gram per centimeter. If you want, you can convert SI unit also. That's not a problem. This is actually the density. Okay, this is the way how to calculate density. Hope you have understood how to calculate density, and some type of numerical example also can be expected in your examination. I request you to solve this problem and please put up in the comment box. Let me know what is the answer. Okay, please answer it and put up in the comment box. I'll verify and update with you. Students, please work out this problem. Let me know if you are having any queries. If you are having any queries, you can ask with me. I'll revert. Also, please let me know any suggestions on improving this. Your support is my motivation. Thanks for your support so far. Keep supporting.